So as a follow-up to my previous video just the other day about evidence of a deluge and that we're being lied to, and I really focused on the Grand Canyon, we've got more photos. Here we have just a river erosion search on Google, and we can very clearly see an example here. For example, we've got a river there cutting into this soft bank, and it's breaking off along the river as it should. Not in deep ravines feeding it. The only way you can get a deep ravine feeding this river erosion is if there was a flood on the surface here and that flood ran off that ledge, leaving a deep ravine, as we discussed in the previous video. And without water catchment area, that's not possible. So what else we got? I've got some downloads as well. Here's one classic example. This is a bit of centrifugal force here cutting into the bank. And as you can see, there's no deep ravines. Why would there? Why would a ravine collapse deep in the forest and magically the soil moved horizontally for, a long distance and then fall into the river? It doesn't make any sense. And of course, the river was once over here, and as it's cut in and moved across, it's left a river flat on the left-hand side. Something you don't see in the Grand Canyon. What else we got here? This one here is river erosion. That looks like it's landslides, and as you see, no deep ravines in gullies off to the side. It's pretty consistent along the edges there, pretty typical. Here's another example of there's no chance for a river flat here. It's just too deep, too many rapids, but still no deep ravines. Why would it? Why would something collapse deep in the forest and magically move horizontally into the river? Only adjacent to the river can collapse into the river. And what we have here is another example of a river flat on the right hand side this time. Then they try and, this is where they get into a grey area. I've got another picture I downloaded. Where is it? I'm going to just pause for a second while I dig it up. In the meantime, here's the Grand Canyon. This river here did not carve out whatever fell out of here, okay? Way over in the distance behind this other ridge, all right? These gullies have no water catchment. The stream on top that fell in here, why didn't it carve out all the way back like a normal valley? Why would it just suddenly decide to carve it out from this point only? I went through that the other day in the previous video. All right, moving along, let's go and find this classic example. Here's more of what I'm talking about. River flat on the left, erosion on the right, no deep ravines. Why would it? How could this water here carve a ravine way over here? Oh, here it is. Finally found it. Now here's the perfect example of a combo where we've got a canyon left by a massive deluge, an apocalyptic deluge, that a river has formed in, a permanent river. And as you can see, we have river flats. So this river, over the course of many hundreds of years, thousands of years, has moved left and right within this area here where the river flats are. And it's only caused landslides adjacent to the river. For example, where my cursor is, it could cause a landslide there. But it cannot cause a landslide from way over here, where my cursor is now, in this ravine where the land magically moves sideways and deposits in the river to be kept swept downstream. Look how deep these ravines are. Now you could say, well, there's tributary rivers. Sure, yeah, right. Where's the water catchment? What? So you've got within a kilometre of each other a major tributary that can carve out a canyon. No. The only way that canyon could have been carved out is a massive deluge where there was unimaginable amounts of water coming over the top of this land, falling into this ravine out to the sea. Combined with gravitational upheavals, if you watch my previous video on the swimming pool cover, and that's the leftovers from the apocalypse. All of these deep ravines, they're not landslides because they're not adjacent to the river. They don't have tributaries, and if they did, the tributaries would carve out the water proportionately to the size of the river for hundreds of kilometres, right? Like a normal river valley, not a ravine, just at the edge of the canyon. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. So I just thought I'd explore that more thoroughly, just to reinforce the point I'm making, that we're being lied to about river erosion, because it's a combination of apocalyptic deluge and actual river erosion, which is relatively minor compared to the deluge erosion. And the proof is in the pudding, and as you can see, here's a perfect combination photo of that situation. See you later.